Welcome back to the 2-Minute Warning. Today I'm taking a look at the AFC East and going over who I think will win in the upcoming 2021 season. But before that topic, question for those of you, and I want to hear from you guys. Comment down below who you think will win the division and just overall your standings, rankings, seedings, whatever you want to call it. Who's going to be first, second, third, and fourth. Of course, comment down below and kind of hear my answer throughout. Getting straight into it though, looking at the Bills, Dolphins, Patriots, and Jets. Bills made it to the AFC Championship this year, so they're kind of the elephant in the room of addressing. Are they going to repeat? I don't want to say dominating the division, but definitely, solidifying that they were the best team. Josh Allen, of course, was an MVP conversationalist. He's on the brink of being a top 5 quarterback. He might already be there. Offensive line is stout. Stephon Diggs is on the come up. Cole Beasley, Emmanuel Sanders, Gabriel Davis, Dawson Knox attending tight end. That's a great receiving room. I am concerned about the run game. There's a lot of guys in there, Devin Singletary, Matt Breida, Zach Moss, all guys that are capable of being NFL running backs, but none of them are capable of being, dominant starting backs, and therefore I think that's an issue to really confirm and figure out who is going to be the number one guy on that team. They do really need to find a guy to step up. I don't care who it is, but they need to find one. Defense, we know how good the secondary is with Tre'Davious White leading it along with Jordan Poyer and Micah Hyde. The pass rush, it does have its concerns last year, but they did address it this year, and they're just hoping for a lot of their own guys to just demand more to themselves. Jerry Hughes, Ed Oliver, they brought in Gregory Rousseau and Boogie Basham. They have Tremaine Edmonds. It's a good defense. It's a good team. Made it to the AFC Championship, and I do think there's a good chance they will win the division, but I don't want to just give them the title just yet. I do want to look at the other teams. Miami, to me, this determines do they keep Xavier Howard or not. If Xavier Howard is traded, I don't care where he goes, Miami is a complete different team. They're losing the best player on their team. I like Devontae Parker. I like Jalen Waddle. I like who else is amazing on that team? I think Javon Holland will be good. I like Byron Jones. I like Mike Gesicki. But we all know X is the best player on that team by far. He's a top 3 cornerback in the league. They cannot afford to lose him if they want to keep playoff hopes, unless they got like a big name in return, a Chandler Jones, a Stephon Gilmore, something along those lines. But assuming they keep him because he's on the team right now, they have a premier defense. Xavier Howard, Byron Jones, Javon Holland, Jason McCourty, Jalen Phillips, like I said, Emmanuel Ogbah, Christian Wilkins. I'm trying to think who's in linebacker. Andrew Van Ginkel, Jerome Baker. That's what I was thinking. I was getting confused with Kyle Van Noy. He was a former Dolphin. Now he's actually a New England Patriot. And then on offense, the receiving core went from banged up Devontae Parker and Mike Gesicki kind of, carry the load amongst Jakeem Grant and Preston Williams. But now it's looking like you got Mike Gesicki, a healthy Devontae Parker, hopefully a healthy deep threat in Will Fuller, and hopefully the next Tyreek Hill and Jalen Waddle. It's a pretty deep receiving core and an improved O-line. I have my question marks about Tua. I have a lot of question marks about Tua. But the roster is very solid. Backfield as well. Myles Gaston's question marks about him, but I do think he will continue to prove, and I'm a big fan of their head coach, Brian Flores. Looking at New England, I think a lot of people are underestimating New England this year. They have a defense that's just as, if not better, than the Miami Dolphins. Stephon Gilmore, J.C. Jackson, Jonathan Jones, Devin McCourty, the better twin. They stole Kyle Van Noy. They stole Devon Godchaux. Dante Hightower is coming back. They added Matt Judon. They added Christian Barmore. The Patriots are the Patriots. They got Bill Belichick. He's got to be the most dedicated coach in the league by far to prove everyone wrong that I don't know if he's so out there to prove he's better than Brady and he's the more valuable one, but just to prove he's still the guy, the head coach of the league, the best one. The best coach of all time, he wants to make that statement. And with an improved defense and with Cam Newton, hopefully just being better than he was last year, being more familiar with the playbook, having more reps, being healthier, not getting COVID, a sturdy O-line. I could question the backfield, I could criticize it, but the Patriots have never had this dominant backfield of, Adrian Peterson or just Derrick Henry. There's never been that huge power back. LeGarrette Blount led in TDs a while back, but still, they've never had that guy, so I'm not really going to question James White, Damian Harris, Burkhead. They've got the job done before with some, just great receiving backs. And then adding Hunter Henry, Jonnu Smith, Nelson Aguilar, Kendrick Bourne. There's some talent on this squad that a lot of people are underestimating, and this division is going to be a lot tighter than I think. Then the Jets, I don't want to oversimplify things because there's probably a good amount of Jets fans out there. Shout out to Gary V if you're watching. Zach Wilson, he has the potential to be great. Robert Salah has the potential to be great. I like the receiving core. There's no X factor D-Hop, but there's a lot of talent and depth. Denzel Mims, Jamison Crowder, Corey Davis. Offensive line will get there, especially them bringing in Elijah Vera Tucker. The defensive line is looking great. Carl Lawson was one of my favorite pass rushers in free agency this year. Quinton Williams is a tank. CJ Mosley, the secondary, I have my concerns, especially about the cornerbacks, but Marcus May is a great safety. Hopefully they could keep him long term. I don't want to oversimplify things, but I think a lot of people would agree the Jets are going to finish last. It doesn't mean they don't have a bright future, but as of today, they're just too inexperienced, too young, and just too unprepared. Not necessarily unprepared for the NFL season, but unprepared to make a deep push. They're just not ready yet. First, second, and third, it is really tough for me. I do think the Bills have the best quarterback, best receiver, but I do think the Dolphins and the Patriots might have the best defense. Coaching staff, Sean McDermott's amazing, but if Bill Belichick is Bill Belichick, he's the best coach in that division still. Brian Flores is on the come up as well. I'm going to take the safe bet and say the Bills probably win the division, but I think it won't necessarily be Bills finish 13-4 and Miami finishes 10-7, and that's a big gap. I think it could come down to a division rivalry, Dolphins play the Bills in I don't know what week, but I know the Patriots and the Dolphins play week 1. That could determine who finishes second place, who gets a wild card, or the Dolphins playing the Bills. It could be a division matchup that the Dolphins took one extra loss and they finished 12-5, and the Bills are 13-4, and now they win the division and win the AFC. It's going to be really close. I truly think Tua is going to be better. Do I think he's going to be this next best thing, pan out to be what Justin Herbert was or the Chargers, or pan out to be how good Joe Burrow is going to be? Probably not. But do I think he's going to be better last year with more experience, more reps, better health, more understanding the playbook, and better receivers, better protection? How does he not improve? I know every team improves in the offseason, but still, it's good to see marginal improvement from your most important guy. And Cam Newton, the Patriots, me, just like everyone else, hated the Patriots with Tom Brady. Hated. I wanted anyone to win but them. But now I feel like a lot of people love Cam. Who doesn't love Cam Newton? And it's hard for me to root for the Patriots, and I'm not necessarily rooting against them like I used to. Not rooting for them, but just not against them like I used to. And I think it'd be cool to see 3 AFC East teams make it out. I don't know if that will happen, but I would love to see it, to be honest. I do think the Bills will win it. I think Miami and the Patriots are going to be neck and neck for second place. I think they'll both finish around 10-7, 11-6, depending on Cam Newton, depending on Tua. Those are the biggest question marks for both teams. They got the weapons, they got the defense, they got the protection, they got the coaching staff. But who's going to be the better quarterback, we'll just have to see. And the Jets, I do have finishing dead last. But either way, like I said, I do think the Dolphins and Patriots can sneak up on the Bills. I'm giving the Bills the crown of winning the division until it's taken from them. But I am opening up the possibility of it being taken from them. In a lot of other divisions, the Bucs, no one's taking the crown from them. Who's another one? I think the Chargers are a sneaky team in the AFC West, but I've had a bet. I don't think they're taking the crown from the Chiefs. The Packers, the Vikings are another sneaky team, but I don't see them taking the crown from them. We'll just have to see. I think this is a division that has a real shot of having the crown stolen of who's the number 1 team in that division. You guys tell me, though, like I said, that's my rankings. Bills, Dolphins, and Patriots neck and neck. It's going to come down to a division matchup, in my opinion. And the Jets, again, bright future, but not this year. As always, and of course, guys, I truly appreciate you watching, though. 2-minute warning.